Good morning. I thought I'd bring you out to the garden after doing the sweet potato video. I thought, you know what? There's so much change in the last week in the garden. I thought I'd bring you along and show you what's going on here. The garlic is doing absolutely fabulous. And my zucchinis are coming up. Last week they were just a little nubber. And now we got nice zucchini plants starting. So it's coming in fast. My cucumbers, I picked 2 huge ones yesterday, and I have more cucumbers hanging. They're a little hard to see because they're smaller. The ones I picked yesterday have to be about 8 inches long and about 2 inches in circumference. And down here is the sugar snap peas. I have several things on this. There's a cucumber. You can see that little guy there. I have several things on this trellis system because it's the only trellis that I've built that has held up. So it's definitely going to be something I copy once we get more set up in the off-grid camp. And I believe that right there is my potatoes. It's the only one up so far, but I'm celebrating that one. These are my peppers. These are sweet bell peppers. And I'm real excited for this. It's a small crop for us, but look at it. It's radishes. The radishes are coming in beautifully. They've grown a lot since I left for Georgia and came back. And if you see down in there, you see the little carrot tops starting. So the carrots are doing absolutely great as well. I think this winter is going to be a great winter for growing down here in Florida. So far it's cooling off, but not to any great degree, and the rains have continued pretty regularly, at least once a week, so everything's still growing and really thriving. That back row are all the sugar peas. There's another zucchini. The sugar peas looks like every one of them sprouted, which I'm really excited for that. And I don't plan to be cooking the sugar peas. I plan on snacking on them out here in the garden. Now, if you look over here, this little tiny stuff, that there is spinach. This will be my first crop of spinach if it continues. I've got a nice little, it's about a 2-foot by 3-foot patch planted. And I got some shooting up here and there that the seeds just blew around when I put them out. But that'll be exciting because spinach is one of my best friends. It goes in my smoothies. Now, these are a little bit smaller. I don't think they're getting as much water because my water system ends right there and most of the holes are clogged, so I have to work on that. But there's a zucchini. There's a zucchini. And up here, these are really going slow, but they are coming in. This is kale. So we got 3 rows of kales planted, and my chickens are dying to get out here, but I know if they get out here, they're going to dig it all up. So we're going to wait on letting the girls free range until I have a way of keeping them out of the garden. Or until the garden's big enough that it's not a big issue, which has happened before. And then my other success is, see if you can see that, that's my cabbage. I started them from seeds. They have their 2nd set of leaves going on their 3rd set of leaves. And I've transplanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 that I can see, but some may have disappeared to whatever critters roam in here at night. And then my beans. These are all bush beans. And I have 2 different types because I'm experimenting. I have a garden, it's just called a garden bean provider. Garden bean provider on that one. And this is a garden bean, but this is a stringless green pod. Landreth stringless green pod. So that's my other one. So I have 2 patches going. I have a board just set between them to just separate them out. As you can see, they've come up quite a bit. I have some tall ones in there already. I get excited because the bigger these guys get, the more leaves they put on, the less weeding I have to do. And the less weeding I have to do, the more I enjoy gardening, which I'm sure there's the same for everybody out there who's gardening. My rosemary's gone absolutely bonkers again. I'm thinking about taking it down to about 10 inches off the ground. And I hate to say this because I really don't know anybody who wants rosemary, but I'll probably end up composting those. That's sad. This is last year's kale. It seems to be reviving itself. I haven't pulled it. The others had all died. This is the only one that showed any life. Now these little green leaves would be awesome in a smoothie or in a fresh green salad. So that's still hanging in there. That's a year old now. Actually no, this is 6 months old. Okay, I bought them in the spring. Everybody died over the summer and this guy's the only one left. And then I still have my mustard greens. They're still hanging in there. Slow growers though. Okay, my other experiment, you're going to think this is crazy silly, but this is my water catch system. And I wanted to try some pole beans, but I didn't really have a place for them. Yes, girls, I'm busy. I'll talk to you in a minute. These are the pole beans. I planted them along my water catch system, and as you can see, they're vining up through beautifully. So they can grow on this all they want. It's not hard to pull them out. And we will be able to have some really nice big vines, and they'll be totally trellising on the metal framing here. And the good thing is they're right by the water tank. So I got them all the way around the 3 sides here. I'm even using this piping to support the young ones until they get big enough to climb higher. And sometimes I give them a little help, just like I'm going to give this guy a little help. Just like that, and now he'll start going up. But look at this up on the pipe. Can you see that? They're growing up the water pipes. It's hilarious. It just shows you, and I'm trying to show you this to let you know that here's a couple more grown back here. This guy needs some help. He's laying. So what do? We tuck him in there and get him up there. Alright, see if I can do it one-handed. I'm trying not to break the stems because they are really fragile. They're very thin. There we go. There, that might help him keep going up. We'll take him up one more layer. And then we'll take him across, which will help from him sliding back down. But yeah, it doesn't take much to grow this stuff. Anything that they can grow up, they will. Now let's look at some bananas. I got to get my back to the sun because the sun's really bright. We've been following these bananas for a while. And this one's really rounding out beautifully. And I see this one's rounding out. It won't be long. It's been weeks I've been watching these, I know. But these bananas are rounding out beautifully. I can tell you they've gotten heavier. Look at the curve in this. I'm so fearful they're going to snap before they're ready to be picked, because the weight is tremendous. When these start rounding out, the reason they're rounding out is because they're ripening and getting ready to be picked, but that also means they're holding more water. So this here is this year's new baby. So this one will probably be my production one if the frost doesn't take it out, or it may even try and put pups or babies out this year. I should say bananas, not babies, bananas. But yeah, that's a major guy. I mean, you're talking at least 10 foot, maybe more. Let's see if we can get back to these other bananas. I'm gonna try and keep you out of the sun here. Just to give you an idea, this is that banana tree I put over the chicken coop to shade the chickens out. It's huge. And it's got pups coming up along the base. And the pups are what some people call the babies. Look at this. These are still, as you can see, these bananas are still filling in. If these don't ripen, I'm not too concerned. But look at this. Holy moly. I get excited because this is my first banana crop. This tree is starting to lean real hard as well. So we may end up having to prop this tree up as well. But look at the babies. I got babies there, babies there. Here's a baby. And then I'm sure if I look, yep, there at the ground, right there is a pup. So we'll have more babies coming in. This is a pup. You see how it's a separate trunk? And it's only, right there is the top of this one. So that's a nice pup. That one, if I could separate it, which I probably can't because it's so close to mama here, but that would be a great one to separate and move to another location. This is another, this was a young one this year. Just to give you an idea, that's my hand on the trunk. It's big. I have to cut out my saw palmetto a bit, but this might get bananas this year yet. I hope not, because it probably won't make it. But there's some pups. There's a pup. They're all through here. If you look underneath, you can see the young ones coming in by the mamas. Lots of baby bananas this year. Right there's one. My goal is to start moving these. I'm going to move them back away from the porch a little bit, but not by much. And I'm also relocating some to our off-grid property. One of the interesting things is, when I get going on these videos, I get rambling. Look at these bananas. Now these are a totally different banana. You see the leaves are not near as big. The plants aren't as big. Even the trunks are not as big. These may end up being the fingerling bananas. I'm not real sure. So they're definitely a different banana. But then down here, this is supposed to be the Kavanaugh banana. I haven't had much luck with these guys at all. But they are, it seems like, I've started doing the chop and drop, and it seems like these guys are finally starting to kick off. I've had them almost 3 years. And 3 years into this with these particular, what's left is 2 trees, I'm finally getting pups, which are the babies. So we have a pup here, and we have a pup here, and I think there was one on the other side. Nope, nope, if there are, they're hidden. Nope. Sometimes they hide underneath mama's leaves too, but yeah, a lot going on here. And just to give you an update, this is my mango. You see the purple leaves are all new growth. I am about 5'5". This has got to be about 6 foot tall now. Up here, that's got to be about 6 foot tall. And I have a beautiful branching started. Look at that branching. Love it. And then there's a branch down here. So this thing's really taken off. And again, when we planted it, I mulched it heavy. Right now, you don't see that, because the mulch actually broke down into the soil already, but we mulched it heavy and it's really done well. Here's a beautiful branching starting right here too. That's a nice branching. This one's going to branch beautifully right in there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, these are going really good. If it gets much taller, I want these branches and I want the trunk to develop some really nice ability to withstand winds, because we are in Florida, we do get hurricanes. My plan is to top this tree, which is going to break my heart to do it, but it will develop a stronger root system and a better trunk system. And we also want to keep all our fruiting trees, other than the bananas, you can't prune bananas, we want to keep these picking height. It doesn't pay to have a 20-foot tree if you can't get the fruit off of it. So prune the trees that you can safely prune. This is my loquat. She's doubled in size since I put her in the ground. This will be one as well. When it gets to be that size of that mango, you can see the mango and the loquat. You see my hill, it's very steep, which is why I'm putting trees out here. When that one gets higher and starts branching, then I'll start topping it as well. We got a citrus tree. We got a lizard. Hey, little lizard. Hey, little lizard. Oh, he's gone. This is not doing as good. It's like got a mildew on it, so. But and then we got another loquat. The loquats are doing very good, which I expected them to. They're a pretty hardy plant overall. My biggest hurdle is taking care of them. This is the edge of my yard, and it's definitely got some issues here with erosion. I'm hoping this tree will help hold that in place. There's another citrus tree. another citrus tree, and I have a stand of bamboo growing, which I'm now second guessing. Do I really want bamboo? But I have them. These are blackberries. They are the thorned blackberries. So it was, again, they were free. It's an experiment, so I went with them. But I'm really rethinking, because when you got a weed around them, unless you put long sleeves and gloves on, it's hard. And in Florida, it's even harder. I'm propping it up. I don't want to step on them. Okay, that's my update. As you can see, it's a beautiful day to be in Florida. Thank you all for following. Like and subscribe, and I'll be posting some more updates as my plants grow and I put more trees in. Have a great day.